Hello and welcome to Some Things Contemplated. I'm Martha Lampshade, and today, as always, we're going to contemplate some things. As you may know, I have been trying to push Some Things Contemplated in a new direction. However, my producer has decided that me rambling on and on and on is not something that would keep a large audience listening. And so instead of taking voicemails from callers, we'll be speaking to them live on the air. Please behave yourselves. We don't have the budget for a censor button. Today we're going to be taking calls from people to see what they have to say about watchmaking. Whether it's to do with smartwatches, automatic watches, or mechanical watches. Or I guess clocks, too. This is the first time taking live calls, so I don't really have control over what these callers say. Well, the board is lighting up. Caller number 1, what do you have to say about watchmaking?
Hello, my name is Jeff Jeffworthy.
Jeff F. Jeffworthy?
Correct. And, well, I've been doing my darndest to get a watch going over here. You see, there's been all sorts of stuff.
I don't see. This is the radio.
Well, you can imagine. I think we can all expect that at minimum.
Okay, so imagining you have a watch going?
I'm trying to get a watch going. Yeah, there's all sorts of things around these parts that things going bump in the night. So me and my neighbor Cletus F. Hemsworth.
Do you mean a neighborhood watch, or are you constructing timekeeping devices?
I would say neighborhood watch. In that. Well, it's just Cletus and myself for the next 80 miles. So I don't think you could call that much of a neighborhood. It's more of a neighborly watch. But yeah, that's what about I'm looking for advice on.
I think you may have understood the topic of our conversation incorrectly today. We're looking at timepieces. I don't really have much to say about keeping you said you're 80 miles away from each other?
Yeah, we for about an 80-mile radius, you see. It's just Cletus and I. We live, we are next door to each other. We actually share a party wall. we are a duplex.
So there's no one in an 80-mile radius of you, but you and Cletus F. Hemsworth share a duplex?
Yes, we do. It's just what made most economic sense, when we was looking to buy ourselves some land.
Well, I suppose in your case for your neighborly watch, whatever stage of progress you're in, invest in some flashlights, maybe? That I really wasn't prepared for the topic to be taken in this way.
Well, and I'm sorry for that.
Maybe get a clock, an alarm clock? A rooster, perhaps?
Oh, well, we got them, but I'm sorry to say, they are pretty dumb.
Well, best of luck in your neighborly watch that you have going with Cletus.
Well, I thank you.
And on to our next caller. What do you have to say about watch building?
Well, frankly, I think, and I'm Hambone Jones, by the way, I live near those freaks. I've heard what goes on behind their little party wall, and frankly, I don't approve. But watchmaking, it's unfathomably dense, and it's only getting much more complicated by the day if you got the time to listen to the most recent complications in the field, Miss Lamplady.
It's Ms. Lampshade, and if I understand you correctly, they said there's no one within an 80-mile radius.
I didn't say they knew I was there.
Are you taking up residence in a guest house or shed, perhaps?
Well, I'm what's known as, in proper circles, a wall occupant. I can't really afford my own place, so to speak, especially in these trying times. When people aren't home, I just sort of go in the walls. After I see their cars leave, I just sort of go into the walls. There's space between those walls. Do you realize that? Not a lot of people realize that.
I am now very, very aware of space in between the walls. Thank you, Hambone.
Well, so I find all that space between the walls. I find the snuggliest space, I find the cleanest space, the space with the least dust, and I just sort of wedge myself in there for, anywhere from a few hours to a few days, depending on how long they're gone, depending on, how keen their senses are when they get back. And I just sort of try to set up there and live a life. A man's gotta live a life, Miss Lamplady.
Now, just to make sure here, we are talking about watch building today. You said things are getting much more complicated. Is that because of the smart technology being added into watches, or pieces are getting even more and more tiny? Or does this have to do with the neighborly watch Cletus and Jeff have going?
Well, the neighborly watch sure as heck ain't helping, but now I can tell, you say that you only came prepared to talk about watchmaking. I can tell you don't know watchmaking from matchmaking, Miss Lamplady. So let me school you a little bit. What I want to talk about is how political watchmaking has gotten lately. I go down to the local watch supply store. I tell them I want these gears. I want them now. I want them cheap. I want them now. Most importantly, I don't know if I mentioned that, I need them because I need to get to work. I don't have a lot of time when I take up residency within these walls. I don't have just luxurious, fancy-pantsy, rich people time to just sit around thinking about watches before I get to work. I need to get to work, you realize, in these trying times. What they don't understand is that I can't afford to pay these prices they're charging for all these watch parts. They tell me it's due to all these fancy new tariffs. They tell me, you gotta pay for those watch parts if you're gonna take them. Those are expensive parts. Those are made of precious metals from the Chinas. All three Chinas maybe even. And I can't afford them. I just need to go home and I need to make a watch and I need to sell it so I can afford to live somewhere within my own walls. And I just think that it's gotten too political these days.
Truly a terrifying tale. Thank you, Hambone. I would recommend you pay for parts that you do take, because perhaps people living in the duplex you're staying between the walls of may become more suspicious if they hear that a watch parts criminal is in their midst.
Well, they deserve it, frankly. Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye, Hambone. Next caller, what do you have to say about watch building?
Hello, my name is Cletus F. Hemsworth, no relation.
To
the famous actor Cletus F. Hemsworth.
Ah, of course.
I've got a watch, and I try to keep it on time. But my reference point is leading me astray. See, in my duplex, which is 80 miles from the nearest residence.
Yes, I have heard.
Oh, have you? Oh! Has Jeff been on the line?
Have you been listening to this radio program before you called in?
Oh, no.
Jeff did call in, as well as someone who, well, I shouldn't spoil it for you. Just listen back once this episode is posted on the internet.
Okay, I'll take that under advisement. No, Jeff just said, hey, you should call him about that, the problem with the central clock system that we have in our duplex.
You have a central clock system. Now, are these hardwired together like a wired-in fire alarm system might be?
There are no wires. It's purely it's a big old steampunky linkage that connects all the clocks in the house. Now, when we first built it in, everything was fine, and it kept time like nobody's business. But in the past few months, I've I found myself being a bit tardy or a bit early. I look at my watch and I look at the clock and I reset it to the clock. Within a few days, I come to find out that, oh, my watch is now askew from the clock and by no consistent amount or direction.
Now, have you tried winding your watch? Because some watches do need winding, as well as clocks. If you have an older clock, you may need to reset it daily so that they all keep on the same accurate time.
There's no need for winding the central clock system. It's got a real good power source that's not running out any time this century.
Do you perhaps have a nuclear-powered central clock system?
Why, yes, I do. How did you know?
You know, I had heard a bit of buzzing on the old social media. I'm still on MySpace, and that's where I get all of my news. But there was some word about people in a rural area who had invented a nuclear-powered timepiece network.
I wouldn't say invented. We found the basics up on GitHub. We have a dial-up connection up here, and so it took a while to print it all out. But once we got that, we got to work, and suddenly property taxes went down, and we had no problems with any neighbors within 80 miles because they had all gotten the hell out of there.
Well, that is very interesting indeed. It's been great talking to you, Cletus. Good luck with your watch building and central clock system. The station has a new sponsor for Some Things Contemplated, and hopefully this one sticks around a bit longer than the last few. Sharp-eared listeners will have noticed that I did my own ad reads last time. As commercials are not part of my job description, I am pleased to introduce our new sponsor, Anna McAnallen. Anna M.
Sure.
There's no product name on my notes.
Yeah, I don't have a product. I just wanted to promote some shows I'm in the next few months.
This is highly irregular.
Okay.
Go ahead. Tell us about your little shows.
Hi, I'm Anna McAnallen. You probably know me from my podcast, Jump the Track.
I've never heard of it.
Anyway, I also act and improvise. The short-form team I'm on, Penny Arcade, has monthly children's shows at Arcade Comedy Theater in Pittsburgh every second Saturday at 2 p.m. It's a super fun show and is perfect for kids aged 4 to 8-ish. Info about shows is at 321letsplay.com.
You know, our commercials usually have wordplay.
In May, my long-form team, How Practice, is going to Happy Valley XL Fest.
I thought you said you act. This is all improv.
May 2nd through May 11th, I'm in a play at Our Act in Rochester, PA. Imaginary Exits is a farce about a writer whose imagination has a mind of its own. It's a great show, and I can't wait for everyone to see it. Info for that is at ouractproductions.com, and I also have links to all upcoming shows on jumpthetrackshow.com.
Are you finished? That was a bit self-indulgent, you know. I've never seen someone promote themselves in a commercial break.
Isn't this whole show a bit self-indulgent?
Well, that certainly was a lot of things to contemplate. We're going to switch topics now. I would like to know what our callers have to say about sleepwalking. It's something that many people have experienced in life. Have you experienced it? Do you know someone who sleepwalks? Are you sure what sleepwalking even is? Caller, what do you have to say about sleepwalking?
Is this connected?
Yes, you're on the air. I'm Martha Lampshade. This is Some Things Contemplated.
Well, Miss Lampshade, my name is Larry Zonkers, and I have a lot of experience as a professional sleepwalker. So I'm so glad to get the opportunity to call in and talk about this most prestigious profession. The opportunities are further and farther between as the days goes on. People think that they do it in their free time and that makes them a professional. No, you need to get paid. You need to get paid to be a sleepwalking professional, people. Let's not get out of hand here. But what I'm saying is, it's very difficult to afford the right kind of pajamas to sleepwalk in these days. For proper sleepwalking, the board recommends, still to this day, I know we need to update our terms, but the board recommends, for the safety of everyone involved, that everyone wear stripy pink pajamas with the little cap, with the little bit and bob on the end, the little fuzzy thing. You know the thing I'm talking about. Real Ebenezer Scrooge. You need to use the proper starch in those pajamas because, boy, if that little cap is too stiff, if that little fuzzy is too fuzzy on the end, you can't get a proper night's sleep. And the first step to proper sleepwalking is proper sleep.
Now, are you pro or anti monogram on those pink stripy pajamas?
It's not so much a matter of pro or anti, it's a matter of earning the monogram. In order to really gain the credentials you need to have monogrammed pajamas, you need to go through the league first. You need to rise up through the ranks. You need to meet up with your sleepwalking peers and match your wits and your wills against them before you have the right to go out there and represent yourself with your little initials as you're sleepwalking around the boulevard.
So it's sort of like a letterman's jacket.
Exactly, and I think that there's a certain arrogance, if I may be so bold, a certain arrogance that takes over within this community, within this art form. That just anyone, that you should start out with monogrammed pajamas, that you have a right to use the best equipment right off the bat, and to go out there and act a fool, representing yourself as some sort of expert when you're only just beginning. It's putting the cart before the horse, people. You really need to take the proper steps, the proper precautions, and undergo the proper training before you can really get into this.
Now, I have heard that in the sleepwalking community, there are those who take great offense at people who sleepwalk in the nude. Is there a division of sorts in the sleepwalking community between the pajamaed and unpajamaed?
Well, the unpajamaed, I've got a much less flattering name for them, if you'll allow me.
Egad.
You gotta have the pajamas. The pajamas are the most important part. If you're doing it in the nude, you're starting off on the wrong foot right away.
An excellent opinion. We have another caller. Let's see what they have to say about sleepwalking. It appears that in addition to sleepwalking, this last caller is also sleep calling. Sweet dreams. It's time for another word from our sponsor. Hopefully this one isn't as wordy as the last ad break.
Wait, what?
This show has 3 commercial breaks. You did prepare something, didn't you? Yes? And now for a word from Anna M.
I've been dipping a toe into voiceover work.
I can't picture you doing voiceover.
Well, it's an audio medium.
Touché. Continue.
I don't have any links to share right now, but there's a few things in the works that I'll be sharing on my website and social media in the next few months. So stay tuned, I guess.
That is a terrible advertisement.
This was a bad idea.
Now let's get back to some callers. Our topic for this segment is hairdressers for dogs. Do you have a dog who likes to have a fresh hairdo? Do you feel strongly about pets who wear clothes or bows or have fancy haircuts? What do you have to say about hairdressers for dogs? Caller, you're live on the air.
Well, like, I really think that, hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Why, I think it's real good when they're real sexy. I really like looking at the dog's haircut. And I think unless the dogs get sexy enough haircuts, then that just leaves the rest of us twisting in the wind, looking for inspiration where there's none to be found.
Gary, we've talked about this before. You can't be doing that. We're going to have to call your parents after this once again.
No, they don't need to know about this. Come on, lady. You can't do this to me.
I'm sorry, we don't have an editing machine, so they will find out regardless. Next caller, what do you have to say about hairdressers for dogs?
Well, I'm totally for it. It's helped my business out tremendously. See, I'm a taxidermist, and well, my profession for the past several decades has given people, as they say, the ick. But now with hairdressers cutting off all that hair, I'm able to preemptively get a facsimile of your pet before they pass away. So it's not actually your dead pet. It is just a thing that looks like them with their hair.
So you could, presuming your animal has hair that is trimmed regularly enough, have a false taxidermied version while your pet is still alive.
Oh, absolutely. But don't show it to them. It'll steal their soul.
Oh, interesting. And is this magic or scientific technology that we are talking about?
Well, any sufficiently advanced technology, as they say, can be construed as magic. So I would say definitely necromancy through and through.
Well, that is interesting and terrifying. A final word from our sponsor, thank goodness. Here's What's-Her-Name to talk about who knows what. Anything?
Flute choir concert in December. They're at Pittsburgh Flute Academy on Instagram.
That's much too far off. Anything sooner?
I'm doing a character interview with my friend Will at the Improv Smash-Up BYOT March 26th.
That already happened.
Okay, I guess just check jumpthetrackshow.com every once in a while to see when events are posted. Go see live music and comedy. It's good for you.
Thank you for those words of, let's call it wisdom. I'll have a talk with the producer about potential advertisers. This was ridiculous.
Who are you calling ridiculous?
You.
Yeah, I get it.
What a day this has been for callers here on Some Things Contemplated. We certainly have contemplated many things. Thank you for listening. I'm Martha Lampshade. Tune in next time for more contemplating things. Yes, hello. Our program is over, but how can I help you?
Hi. Is your refrigerator running? Oh, no, I said it.
Stop it. She'll hear me. She'll hear me in the background. No, don't do that.
Shh.
Yes, my refrigerator is running.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, well, good.
Thank you very much to our callers today, Christian Muse and Shy Fox. Christian Muse helps run a magazine about indie comics in Canada called Sequential Magazine. It's available free online, or you can purchase physical copies. For the free version, go to globalcomics.com/c/sequential-magazine. Shy Fox is the creator of the Fix Your Heart or Die podcast, a podcast that started just a couple of months ago and has hit the ground running. If you are at all interested in David Lynch, or movies, TV shows, video games, any kind of art or creative field that was influenced by David Lynch, you absolutely should check it out. That's Fix Your Heart or Die podcast on Patreon or any podcast app. I put all my plugs into the actual show as the commercial breaks, so, check the show notes, check my website. It's all there. The next thing that's upcoming is Imaginary Exits. That opens this Friday. It runs for 2 weekends, but again, all the links are on my website and in the show notes. This has been the plug bag of Some Things Contemplated.